In looking at Reed's case 672, I thought, there are some things in this case, this was a general wave case, that bring to the front a little bit of our knowledge about mineralization and demineralization of the dentin. So I thought I'd give just a brief discussion reminding MIEers of what we covered during the mineralization tutorial, because I think the images really bring to light what actually happens during mineralization of dentin and the demineralization of dentin. So I hope this explanation helps bring the process maybe a little clearer, because it's so diagrammatically or pictorially compelling. Understand that I am not a pulp biologist, so these are my own impressions. I could very well be wrong, and some of my emphasis are even factually wrong. I'm just making this based on observations. If you recall from the mineralization tutorials, having an understanding of the biologic basis of mineralization really helps in interpretation of the images. And without that understanding, it's very hard to make sense of these images. So let's take a closer look at some of these images on Reed's case and see if it doesn't help solidify that understanding of what actually happens during mineralization and demineralization. So we're going to look at a couple of areas. This is area 11 near the terminus on the mesial root, and in an area where we're certain that no debris from the separation disc are in the canal. So this is a look at the virgin canal just after the general wave procedure was done. I'm going to use TDO to show this instead of going to the MIE site, just because that's easier for me. You can do the same thing by going to the MIE site and going through the images. So let's look at area 11, and I'll just use the slideshow function in TDO to go through. So we're looking at area 11, and it's down near the terminal end of the root. And when you actually look at this, you can see essentially an exceptionally clean canal. It doesn't look like it's had any instrumentation, and there's almost no predentin present. We're right down to the mineralization front. And when you look closely, it looks like there's been demineralization at the mineralization front, because you can see collagen fibers. And then when you look at the tubule, it looks like all of the peritubular dentin has also been removed. Now, when you're looking at the mineralization front, you want to think, well, what is missing? What is not there? And what is not there is the predentin and the odontoblast in any part of the smear layer. So you're looking at a surface right at the mineralization front. So you want to think of the histological picture when you're looking at these SEMs as well, and think about what is missing. So in looking at this, you're looking at the mineralization front, and everything else in the area 11 is missing from that picture. And look in the telluridine blue section, what's missing from the picture is all of that material and microcalcifications and mineralization that happens in the predentin. And of course, all of the tissue from the smear layer is missing. So you're right at the mineralization front, and everything else has been removed, either by the irrigation device or in the processing of the specimen. So looking at the TEM picture, all of the hydroxyapatite and the non-collagenous proteins that are present in the predentin are missing from area 11 pictures that we looked at. You're right at the mineralization front. So when you look at an area like this, you want to think histologically exactly where you're looking and what is missing from the picture. Specifically, all the non-collagenous proteins and the hydroxyapatite crystallization that's going on in the predentin all the time. Also, when we look at the peritubular dentin, all of those non-collagenous proteins are missing, and you're right down to the collagen substructure of the dentin. And that was clear in the picture 11 pictures as well. And when you take efforts to actually image the peritubular dentin, we know it's a non-collagenous proteins that are present there. And in area 11, all of that is missing. And we know from prior gentle wave pictures that even though the non-collagenous proteins are missing and the hydroxyapatite of the predentin, many times the odontoblast is still intact. So when you look at pictures like this and can see the mineralization of the collagen, you want to think about what is missing from this picture, either from the specimen preparation or from the irrigation device itself. So now when you look at this from specimen 11, now hopefully it'll make a little more sense to you on what it is that you're looking at. Now let's look a little further east of the area at number 11. This is area number 14. And when you look in this area, it's a little further coronal in the canal. And here you can see some smear layer where the instrument went. And now you get a completely different picture. And you are looking in the predentin now, and you can see the mineralization from the hydroxyapatite crystals here. And underneath that, you can see areas of where the mineralization front is. So all of those non-collagenous proteins are missing from this picture and are an empty space right below the hydroxyapatite mineralization of the predentin. So here you get a pretty good view of the collagenous structure of the predentin and its partial mineralization or demineralization by the irrigation device. And you can see also the little tiny crystals of hydroxyapatite. When you correlate what you're seeing with the electron microscope, you can see where this collagen substructure and the mineralization is taking place. And hopefully this makes it a little clearer for you.